Welcome back to Kamikaze Overdrive NFL predictions for week number 4. Quickly recapping week 3, I went 9-7 overall, pushing my total record to 16-15-1. I'm above 500. 9-7 is a better record than week 3. I'm, hopefully going to use the information I've gathered from the first 3 weeks to make week 4 a better week and slowly progress as the year continues. Late points definitely hurt my record. New England Buffalo. New England was beating the spread. They ended up, Buffalo scored a late touchdown, so that went from a win to a loss. Arizona-Oakland. Arizona it was a push until Oakland kicked a late field goal, so they ended up beating the spread there. And as a result, a push became a loss, so I dropped to 9-7. With those two, I could have been 10-5-1, which is a far better record. Live betting, perfect timing is what I'm going to refer to it as. In the Indianapolis-Denver game, Denver was situated on the Indianapolis 20-yard line, 19-yard line. They were fourth in a handful of yards to get, and they were going for it. And SportsInteraction.com, the live betting was offering who will be the next team to score in that game. Denver, based on their position, was paying $1.10. Indianapolis paid $7.50. While I was watching that game, Denver went for it. They didn't get it, and the odds stayed up for a bit. So I threw down $50 on the Indianapolis Colts to be the next team to score at $7.50. Which is a big payout, and of course they marched down the field and scored, so I scored a big win on a very easy bet. So, perfect timing, sit and watch these things, and it's there, so there's money to be made on, mistakes or just, people being a little slow on the uptake. And finally, before we continue on, sportsinteraction.com, my videos are affiliated with that website. Check out sportsinteraction.com/kamikaze overdrive NFL. As always, the deposit bonus is still available. Click on the link in the description below and go from there. So let's get into lessons learned. Last week, desperate teams equals danger. There were 3 teams I noticed. Minnesota was on 0-2. Dallas also 0-2. Both those teams came out with big wins. They were desperate to avoid going winless before heading into their bye weeks. So both came out with big wins. Dallas, of course, hurt me. Minnesota helped me. Tennessee hurt me. Tennessee had 7 turnovers in the prior week. Again, desperate to make some corrections. They certainly did. They lit up the Giants. So again, a desperate team, very dangerous, got the job done. Next, don't let records fool you. Tampa Bay, Cleveland, and St. Louis, 2 teams I'm focusing on here. Tampa Bay was 2-0. Pittsburgh was 2-0. Pittsburgh destroyed Tampa Bay. So 2-0. Don't just say, oh, they're 2-0, 2-0. Could be a close game. I'll go with the underdog in this one. Cleveland 0-2 coming into it. Very tight game. Nearly beat Baltimore. So again, 0-2. Don't just say, like I said, don't go 0-2. They're going to struggle. They played a good game. St. Louis was 0-2 as well. They came out with a win over Washington. I called all 3 of these games correct. So you ignore the records and you look at the intangibles in that specific game, and it helps you. Double digits can be tough. New England versus Buffalo, double digits. As I said, New England almost had it, but gave up a late touchdown. That's all it takes sometimes. Is a 15-point win covering the spread of 13.5 can be ruined by a late touchdown that a team gives up just because they're trying to run the clock out and not give them, a quick score. They'll give them a touchdown over 5 minutes versus allowing them to get a quick score in a minute and a half. Baltimore, Cleveland, again, I was on Cleveland, double digits. Cleveland was able to get the job done. Minnesota, Detroit. Minnesota did just get it. Detroit was in a situation where if they'd scored at all late, anybody in Minnesota would have been screwed. So again, double digits, very tough to call. Because obviously there's the implications coming in that one team's going to roll over the other one. So you want to watch those. Roll with what's hot. Pittsburgh's D, 3-0. Charlie Batch did an excellent job for them last week, but Pittsburgh's D is the real reason they're 3-0. They've done an excellent job shutting their opponents down, limiting them in scoring. So again, that's something to watch. Michael Vick for the Philadelphia Eagles doing a good job for them. So again, he's hot. Indianapolis is doing well after getting lit up by Houston. Peyton Manning and the offense are really rolling. Destroyed Denver last week. So again, that's a hot team. And finally, just a quick jab at the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are junk, and I'm tired of betting on them. I'm tired of giving a hard time. And I'm tired of giving them too much credit and not enough credit, so, we're going to make some changes this week. Moving on to the picks. First and foremost, we have Baltimore heading to Pittsburgh. Divisional matchup. Pittsburgh is a 1.5-point favorite. Pittsburgh's D has been fantastic, while Baltimore has struggled offensively. They did get it going last week against Cleveland at home, but in Cincinnati and in New York, they struggled in both those games. Pittsburgh is a tough place to play on the road, so I'm going to take the Steelers as 1.5-point favorites to cover the spread here. Moving on to the next game, and I went back and forth. Originally, when I looked at this game, I had Carolina, 13.5-point underdog against the New Orleans Saints. If you look at this is the first road game for the Clausen, the rookie quarterback for Carolina. Tough place to play in New Orleans, the defending champs. Another thing is Carolina has struggled to put points on the board. 14 points in 2 games at home. I can't see them doing too much better on the road in New Orleans. New Orleans offense is getting going. They will look to rebound after their loss with Atlanta. Carolina's right for the picking, so I think New Orleans rolls in this game. So I'll take them as a 13.5-point favorite, and I think they get the job done. Moving next to a home dog, the Cleveland Browns will be hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. Cleveland played very tough against Baltimore. Could have won that game if a few bounces gone their way. This has been a tough match over the last couple of years to call. They're 2-2 in their last 4 games, all low-scoring games. And a couple things they look at. Cincinnati's playing back-to-back games on the road. It's a divisional matchup, and we're looking at a home dog. Indicators that I'm going to go with Cleveland. They might pull it out. I could see it being very similar to the Baltimore-Cincinnati game or the Cleveland-Baltimore game. Games that will be very tight. I like it's 3.5 points. I get on it before it drops to 3. It's in danger of a push. I think Cleveland's going to keep it tight. They might win it outright. This might be one of those games that it's good to be on the side of the less popular pick. Denver and Tennessee. Looking at Denver, they've played one road game this year and they lost against Jacksonville. That says a lot because Jacksonville is not a good football team. They've proven that. And now Denver's heading to Tennessee. I think Tennessee rolls in this one. They lit up the Giants last week. They will continue. They've made their corrections to the mistakes they made in the game before when they made 7 turnovers. I think they get the job done here. So I'll take them as 6.5-point favorites, and I think they certainly win this game easily. Detroit and Green Bay. Divisional matchup, here's that double digits, and it's double digits in the sense that it's going to take 3 scores, 2 touchdowns, another touchdown or a field goal for Green Bay to cover it. Green Bay's coming off a Monday night loss. They need a win here over Detroit to avoid slipping back in the pack. Detroit certainly struggled in Minnesota for points on the board. They're playing back-to-back games on the road. They only scored 10 points. I can't see them putting up much more here against Green Bay. I think Aaron Rodgers will do a good job against the Lions, and I see Green Bay winning this game handily. I hope this one doesn't come back to bite me. If I'm making my bets, I might stay away from this game, but because I'm making predictions on all games, I'm going to take Green Bay by 14.5. The next game's a head-scratcher. The interdivisional game, we're heading to Buffalo, New York Jets versus Buffalo. A couple things I'm going to look at. The Jets are playing back-to-back road games heading into this one. It's a quick turnaround. They played, Sunday night game? Yeah, Sunday night game, quick turnaround for them. It could be a letdown. They played New England, beat them. Played Miami, beat them. Now they're heading to the basement-dwelling Buffalo Bills. You know, you kind of relax. It's a hard game to get up for. I think this could be a tighter game. Buffalo scored a lot of points. Didn't do bad in New England. Certainly, represented themselves well. I think a lot of people will be on the Jets, and I think this is one of those games that at the end of the week, people will be sitting there looking at going, that's a tough one to call. How do you pick the Bills in this one? Well, I'm going to pick the Bills. I think they're going to keep it tight. Be within 3 points, 4 points. So let's take the Bills at 5.5-point home dog interdivisional game. Next matchup, San Francisco visiting Atlanta. The Falcons are a 7-point favorite coming off a huge win over the New Orleans Saints. They need to avoid the letdown. I think they will. San Francisco, 0-3. They're playing back-to-back road games. They got wrecked last week in Kansas City, got lit up in Seattle in week 1, and Atlanta's a better team than both those clubs. San Francisco in those 2 games lost by a combined score of 62-16. That's not going to cut it. I think Atlanta will win this game and continue to cement themselves as a real threat in that division, along with, of course, the Super Bowl champs. Moving next, the next game is going to be a qualified pick. It's qualified because in order for me to be comfortable taking St. Louis, the running back Steven Jackson has to play. He got hurt last week. I think he will play, but it's too early to tell. This is a big game for both these teams. They come in, Seattle's 2-1, St. Louis is 1-2. If St. Louis wins this game, they could be tied for the division lead and have the edge because of the win on this week. They're 1 point underdogs at home, so I like getting the 1 point. This will be a tight matchup. They've played well at home. They beat Washington, obviously, and they stayed tight with Arizona in week 1. Where Seattle lost in Denver, they're not the same team as they are at home versus on the road. So I'm going to go with St. Louis to keep it tight here and take the 1 point. But obviously, Steven Jackson needs to play for this game to work. Sam Bradford's played well, so let's see how this one turns out. Next game's a trap game. Oakland is hosting Houston. Houston's coming up a big loss to Dallas. They played Dallas, obviously, the big battle of Texas. This could be a letdown game for them. They're heading to Oakland. It's not a huge game for them. It's a lot less to get up for. Oakland has played well in their last 2 games. They've kept the games close, lost by a total of 3 points. Probably should have beaten Arizona. A lot of people look at this spread and go, it's easy to see Houston winning this game by 3.5, and they certainly could. but I think that's a fishy spread. So I'm going to stick with Oakland on this one. Take the points, take the home dog, and they might pull this one off and get a big win at home. Certainly they have showed signs of improvement, and Houston might be right for the picking in this one. So I'm going to take Oakland to beat the spread in this matchup. Next game, here we go. Indianapolis on the road against Jacksonville. Jacksonville always plays Indianapolis tough. I don't care. I'm going to take Peyton Manning. That offense is flying right now. They're doing a lot. Even though they have some injuries, they're doing a lot. This is back-to-back road games for them. They were in Denver. They lit up Denver like they always do. I think they're going to come into Jacksonville, look to make a statement, push the record to 3-1, get that opening week loss to Houston as far to their minds they possibly can. I really see them pounding on David Garrard, Jacksonville. And one thing, Jacksonville's pushing the panic button. They just picked up Trent Edwards, who was cut by the Bills. I don't think anybody cut by the Bills is going to come to another team and help them solve their offensive woes. So, I'm taking Indianapolis. I'm seeing at least a 10-point win in this one. Next game, Arizona-San Diego. San Diego an 8-point favorite at home. Arizona's a bad road team. They got lit up by Atlanta, almost lost to St. Louis. They nearly lost to Oakland last week in their home opener. Well, San Diego is playing, they're a good team at home. They're definitely an elite team in the league. I think they get things going in the right direction. I don't think Arizona can keep up with them. So I'm going to take the points here. I think San Diego can roll in this game by 10, 14 points easily. So I think San Diego covers the spread. Next game, big game here. Philadelphia's at home, hosting Donovan McNabb and the Washington Redskins. Very interesting here. You've got interdivisional game, kind of a big spread, 6.5-point spread in favor of the Eagles. Washington's coming off a huge loss to St. Louis, which indicates to me that their coaching staff is going to be all of them to make some corrections. They lost the worst team in the league from a year ago, so they will be primed for this game. This is back-to-back road games for them, so that is a red flag. But I think the fact that the Washington wants to win this game for McNabb showed they made a mistake by letting him go. I think this will be a tight game, a lot tighter than the 6.5 points that I'm getting. I'm happy to take those points with the road dog. And I think Washington comes up, makes a game that might actually win this game outright. McNabb shows up. Washington beats the spread. New York Giants at home against the Chicago Bears. I saw the line for this. I was a little bit surprised. Chicago is a 3.5-point underdog. New York looked bad last week, but Chicago's coming up. It's a short turnaround, obviously, playing Monday night and then coming to the Sunday night game. But what I see is a Chicago team that is primed to capitalize on the Giants' mistakes. The Giants could not score, could not move the ball, got frustrated, where Chicago's defense did a good job against Green Bay to keep them in that game and gave them an opportunity to win, which they did. So I'm more than happy to take the 3.5 points. I can't see the Giants winning this game by more than a field goal if they do win it at all. So 3.5 points. I think Chicago wins this game outright, so I'm going to be on the Bears all the way. Don't be shocked if the line makes a change quickly. And finally, the Monday nighter, the Miami Dolphins hosting the New England Patriots. This is a big game for New England. They're coming off the loss to the Jets, beating Buffalo by, I think it was 8 points. They need to win this game to establish themselves in the division and keep pace, obviously, with Miami, keep pace with the Jets. 1 point is, it's not a lot, and it makes you wonder why it's only 1 point with New England being New England and Miami being Miami. Miami's a good team. Don't underestimate them, but I think Tom Brady and the boys show up on Monday night, so I would take New England as a 1-point favorite to win this game outright. I could see it by a touchdown or more, because they have to win this game. They lose this game, suddenly it's a dogfight through the first 4 weeks. It's a dogfight to finish, so I'll take New England in this game. So finally, what I'm going to do for my conclusion, a 4-way parlay, 4 teams I think if you want to make some money, these are the 4 teams to bet on. Pittsburgh, absolutely. Atlanta this week again. Tennessee going to roll, and I think San Diego. If you want to throw a 5th one in there, I'd have to go with the Indianapolis Colts against Jacksonville. But stick with those 4 right now. We'll see how it turns out. I'll keep track of how my 4-way parlays do. As always, sportsinteraction.com. Check out the link below. Click on it. Get your bonus. Sign up. Make yourself some money. Thanks to the comments last week. I appreciate that very much. And check out my UFC 120 video. The event's coming up on the 16th of October. I will be posting my video probably a week before that, so please check that out if that interests you. And I'll see you back here for Week 5, Kamikaze Overdrive NFL predictions. Credits.